How is everybody? Hello and welcome. I'm Stooge. Today we are going to be continuing the Great Ace Attorney. Give me just a minute while I make sure my now live notification gets out on my Discord, which you can join here, and then we will get started. How is everybody today? All right, let's see. There it is, and there we are. Excellent. Now, let's go ahead and get the Great Ace Attorney launched. And since I forgot to say it yesterday, I'm going to say it today. So, I'm going to get some Ace Attorney audio going on while I do this. So, while I was at PAX, I got Gran Turismo 3 and 4. Because I do intend to stream them. And what we're going... And I informed Pokey of this. And Pokey said... Let's see, let me quote Pokey exactly, actually. Because, it's important to not put words in people's mouths unless you're actually doing it. Okay. Let me see, where is it? Okay, here we go. Also, I have an idea for a stream. I don't remember if it's GT3 or 4, but one of them has a 24-hour race. So, Pokey suggests that I stream the 24-hour race, which is the 24 hours of Nürburgring. And so, in order to do this, I talked it over with Strega. And it would be a cumulative bit reward of, in total, $1,000 in bits. I know that's a lot. I don't disagree. But at the same time, I'm also no spring chicken. As I told Kestrel and Pokey the other day, I'm not even a fall one anymore. So, with that, that is something that is out there. I'm going to be using a first gen PS3 that has the full backwards compatibility because it has the hardware of the PlayStation 2 in it. I'm hoping that so I found that Thrustmaster still makes PS3 compatible steering wheels. Nobody else does. Everybody's just like, nope, it's the PS4 or newer. So I found that. I haven't ordered it yet. It's going to take a bit. But we're going to do that. And we're going to be streaming career mode in GT3 and 4. The first Gran Turismo game I played was 3. It has a very special place in my heart. It's where I fell in love with the Miata. Even if the Miata in GT3 is not as good or as bad as the Miata in the real life. But I've never heard anybody say a bad word about the Miata other than it's too small. And that's mostly because you're too tall, including possibly myself. But that's what we're going to be doing. I said, hey, Pokey. I said I would put this out at the end of stream yesterday, but I completely forgot, so I front-loaded this stream with that. So, with that now stated, let's get started. Oh, right. There's no game audio because I had it turned down. Because I was watching videos. I love the look of the Miata. And everyone I've talked to and every video I've seen about the Miata is they are just fun cars. And I really want to get a fun car. I'm pressing the any key You gotta be kidding me again. Alright, hold on. And this time, so yesterday my wheel was turned off. The curse continues. Yeah, Pokey, the curse continues. For some reason, my controller is just not playing nice. Let's try again. The controller is on. You can see the lit up Xbox logo there. It looks like I'm going to be using keyboard and mouse. I know that this is controller compatible. I don't know why the controller is being a butt, but it is, and I hit it. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. The One-Away Womb.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident,
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude.
the beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Okay. It's clearly winter. Why isn't the fountain folded over or frozen over?
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
I thought for sure the kids were
And
gonna steal their
welcome
stuff.
to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
But yeah, why wasn't that 18th February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office.
Let me double check this. Oopsie. Oopsie. Whoopsie.
Whoopsie. Okay, there we go. And there. Okay. I had to fix that. Yep, still not working. What an incredible place. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. And it's almost suffocating. Give me a moment. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. Oh yeah, why were they speaking with British accents? There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper of most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. I think there's more to the difference than just construction materials. Like, I don't know, the giant cogs. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity, as envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place. Oops. I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Alright, let me take care of something. Let me check. Oh yeah, that's right. That just doesn't feel good, but there's no specific audio control. That's kind of sucks. Yes, which means you need to request qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way we'll be able to remain in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. I mean, good luck. I'm playing you, so that's questionable. Oh, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. You know, slightly different than I was expecting. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. I'm already not a fan of this guy. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. That just seems like a really bad statement. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart. Male Strongheart. Really? Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Ugh, and I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Then you're perfectly safe. Just ask the Mythbusters. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't be a mouse. Oh, It's an honor to whoops, wrong voice. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I wish that the text boxes had a different color depending on which character was talking. It'd make life very easy. I'm Mironosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yes, thank you. Well, I think we probably need to just talk to him right now. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, well, I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some London streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I am almost lost for words. At a loss for words, but hey. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astonished. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. What, did they get rid of all the people who were sick and such just for them? Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. Has London ever hosted the World's Fair? Okay, looks like in 1851 and 1862, London hosted the World's Fair. Great Exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Okay. Interesting. So this is... Let's see. When did Paris... 1878, 1900, okay, Okay. Okay. Interesting. So in 1851, London hosted the Great Exhibition to draw attention from an industrial exhibition being put on in Paris. So this is kind of, at least according to Google. So, there you go. Alright. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set upon our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. So here's the thing. The reason why the saying is the land will never set upon the British Empire is because the British Empire had lands so vastly apart that it was always sun, it was always daytime somewhere in the British Empire. Lord Chief Justice? I think you were expecting a student of law for this tour, weren't you? Absolutely. Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. Sorry about that. The British government has already telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends the deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Sorry, Strega sent me a message. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. This is it then. The moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. I mean, I think the thing to do is just be straightforward and honest. But with a certain panache, such as, in order to strengthen the relationship between our two countries during the remaining time of our voyage, I have been studying diligently to be able to take the exam to be classified as a lawyer so that we can continue the study tour. Right? Mr. Naruhodo, I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's me! It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but I have been studying diligently during the journey. I have already defended myself in court, as well as identifying the true culprit of the murder of Kazuma Asogi. No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer? I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. But glossing over the details, I've been spending every spare moment of the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was aboard the SS Buria. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Great Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time. But I can't just go back to Japan. You would think that they would have had something planned out for this eventuality, right? I'm not the only one that finds this odd. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So what's happened to opening statements now? Having sat on a jury, I had to listen to both, for a criminal trial, I had to listen to both the opening statement for the defense and for the prosecution. And both of them took like 2 minutes. So, you're willing to put those words on to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? He doesn't think you'll be able to do it, but he thinks it'd be fun watching. Come on, keep up with the program, Ryunosuke. But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Osogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Pokey, assuming you're still here. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Why, yes. Yes, it did. Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. Thank you, Pokey. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. And all the assistance Miss Susato can give me. Really? Really? And what is this test? So what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, that's right, Pokey. You gotta wield that hammer dutifully, but judiciously as well. Well, defending people, of course. The role of the lawyer is to establish truth. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. Are we finally going to are we going to get to invest? No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. Today? Oy vey. straight away? What'd you expect? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? Depends on what the trial is. How do I get myself into these situations? Well, if you look at what you just said... Well, can I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Raise your hands if you think it's a murder trial. I mean, we already saw the prologue, but all the same. As if there's any other trial in the Phoenix Wright universe. Or the Ace Attorney universe. Yes, good question. Oh, I remember. Him acting like he's absent-minded is complete bull. It's a murder trial, lightning crash and flash. Or thunder crash and lightning flash. Actually, lightning flash and thunder crash, but you know. The screech of an owl. A murder? Did you think that murder was something that was exclusively Japanese? After seeing a Russian ballerina commit, or after discovering a Russian ballerina had committed murder? Really? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy for you to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Has he forgotten that he himself was going to be put to death if he was found guilty in Japan? What? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. Oh, Susada-san. We would be toying with a man's life. Well, he was toying with... You were toying with my life on the sea voyage, thinking I was guilty. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. And therefore, that is all there is to it. But... you can't do that! Can you? Obviously he can, he just did. There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. Much like how you may have lived or died depending on how well you performed in Japan. Come on. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Why, the answer is obviously yes. All right, then if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... Hold on, what was that? I can't do it. I can't get the words out. You better get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry. You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is canceled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato. But what could I do? It's all right. I understand. You do? I understand you're a coward. It's not easy to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Ms. Susato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see the trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day. But for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. And that was the actual test. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that's the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with the chance to save this man from a very miserable end. All right, give me a moment. I need to look at something that Strega sent me. All right. Appreciate everybody's patience. Is that there's only one person now with the chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here, and I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. He's gone. The Old Bailey. We're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo. We must leave at once. Well, time to move. To the Old Bailey. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Oh, thank goodness we're here in time. There's still 15 minutes before until the trial begins. Yeah, but I have no records of anything. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. My teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, yeah. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. I feel like something might be wrong with my controller. It's been an hour. It's been disconnected the whole time. Well, it's been nearly an hour. It's been disconnected basically the whole time. But the controller hasn't turned off. So that's fun. Oh wait, let me double check that. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, the court clerk said the defendant should be here. But there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man is you're to defend, I imagine he's feeling very alone at the moment. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir. Willy Wonka? What are yous doing following me here? Things are pretty desperate, are they? Sorry. Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it right? Say no more, say no more. Nods as good as a wink to a blind bat. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself. So I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Huh. 1,000 guineas? Please, Miss Susato. I don't think you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Did I misread something? Oh, I see. He's just being literal. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you, no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh. To be honest, it is a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. So, now So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Bluster and blazes, do yous not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names? No, sorry. We only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there in the center of London, is another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? It is called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park in central London? A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city. It's queer, and it's queer old people. I am not familiar with that word. Or if it's perhaps I see. Remarkable or strange? Okay. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Oh, but now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Yeah. All right, don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. A good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'd do it. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? Annoying. I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering you just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, well, not at all. Not at all. Although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why don't you have a lawyer, I mean? That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did you just say Reaper? I, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey Lord Barak Van Zeek. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? I feel like he is somehow related to, oh, why can't I remember their names now? Francesca, help me, Pokey. You're my only hope. When Van Zeeks stands for the prosecution, Von Karma, thank you. When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend in the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Barak Van Zeeks? He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Possibly. I would say possibly exceptionally good at maybe forging evidence. But in this case, based on the prologue, it doesn't sound like that's necessary. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. I can't help but go into Australian. His counsel? That would be me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I'd made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? Poorly. But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know it? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I'm a cockney, I is. I literally know nothing about this case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Mr. Naruhodo. The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing but nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Or something. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. February 18th, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. Oh, we have a jury. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? So different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. You'd be surprised. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, I just can't help it. Why does he look like a vampire? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense. You appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Huh? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me. Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh, a cold shiver just ran down my spine, all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fellow is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. All right, there we go. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please, may we go play in McGilded Park? It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news. He certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. You haven't heard the details of the trial yet. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Why does the 5th individual look like Leighton? At least in dress. And why do I feel like the 3rd gentleman is the actual criminal? As if that's hard to ascertain. Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish properly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they'd never set eyes on me. I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. I must finish these mittens for my grandson. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are the jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passed a sentence according to the law, but the jurors determined the guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? I don't know, but I'm sure it will be clearer as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor Van Zieks, my lord. It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame. I am known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity. I know, but I can't help it. He's got all the hallmarks of a vampire. So, what brings you back? Is there some chance, some change of circumstance the court should be aware? Yep, keep doing that. I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements. I think a summary of the case, if you please. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was minutes after, some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice Fired Mason. Sorry, thrice? He was very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. The dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, Counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. The autopsy report has been entered into the court record. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are... Good Lord! Is that blood, Counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Not necessarily his gloves. They were just taken from him. Don't conflate the two. Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record. How did I get into this? Alright, let's quickly read the autopsy report. Oops. I'm not used to using the keyboard. Occupation brickmaker. See, I thought thrice fired mason meant that he was fired 3 times rather than his bricks were fired 3 times. Time and cause of death: February 15th, February, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife while journeying in an omnibus. Died to a internal hemorrhaging resulting from trauma. A report prepared by Scotland Yard coroner gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. I can't help but feel that that's going to be important because that's a missing button. Where's the button at? This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing comes of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe he is. I believe he was toying with a coin in his hand a little earlier. Ha, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating. I'd like to rotate them. Oh, there we go. Arrow keys to rotate. I feel like there should be blood on the back of it as well. I'm backed into a corner before I've even started. Did you expect anything less? Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of these passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course I have no recollection of such a thing. So queer is actually a Irish term or slang that means strange, unusual, remarkable, and queer. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that even. But whether I'm in a carriage, whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord, my lord. Lilton, so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, it was a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Okay, so I'm calling it now. We're gonna find out that no, McGilded was familiar with thrice fired Mason. And that there's more. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves, was I? Okay, so now we have ascertained that those are indeed his gloves. I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed. I want to see I'm curious why the murder weapon wasn't entered into evidence. Do you bet that there's no blood on the weapon? I don't remember if I read that, so I'm going to read it just in case. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the drivers is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. Are you sure that she's not the court reporter? Order! 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 When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. I'm losing it. It's the nail in the coffin of the accused. Do not drink wine. Thank you, Counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses at once. Alright, I gotta do a quick BRB. Give me a few minutes, and I appreciate everybody's patience. As is typically the case when I'm playing a visual novel, I get hungry. I don't know why. Yay, we have controller. Witnesses, your names and occupations. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. Beppo? I drive an omnibus in the East End. You're a banker, you say. I think you anything but Playfair. Oh, whoops. Give me a moment. Hold on. Bruce Firefly. I'm a banker in the city. My aim's first. Lady first. I make hats for gents. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the Sand were in an omnibus and witnessed the aforementioned incident. Oh, whoops! I forgot to turn off the BRB. Where are you at, Pokey? Okay, so there in and of itself is a contradiction to everything we've heard so far. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yes, sir. Quite right. Yes, sir, that's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed with your formal testimonies, please. Again, am I the only one that sees irregularities with the way this is done? And why having multiple witnesses testifying at once is a problem? Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. What the witnesses saw. It was the last bust of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then, out of a blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed I did, I couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus and then I saw it too. Would you agree their testimony is unambiguous? Unambiguous testimony, I must say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly outset from this, has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what had happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of a moving carriage. How quaint. I've read that that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend. Have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I have arranged for us all to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime, that is. What? You mean... What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place here is here today, in this very building. Here. What? The entire carriage? Bailiff. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Baker Street, Old Street, and the city of Westminster. I think. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. The 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guest that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Why? Unfortunately, I can't tell which side of the cabin he's on. Ah, a skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on the omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. It only makes perfect sense that they were in the back seats. Well, Consul, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. The omnibus has been entered into the court record. How it fit in your pocket, I have no idea. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? The scene of a murder, it's horrible. There's the blood. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously. Yes, and the seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight? Hmm. Whichever way you look at, whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Okay. This seat has a handle, it seems. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. You would not have horseshoeing tools on the omnibus. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Ah, that's the poster for the Great Expedition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Okay, so the actual exposition was held in the Crystal, was it Crystal Castle or Crystal Palace? Yeah, Crystal Palace. Oh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. Okay, so that's interesting. It says the same exact thing. Okay, so there's only one door. You gotta love Easter eggs. So right now, the only hope that we have you can certainly see the inside of the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in there in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see it quite clearly. That's not good for us. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with cold air rush past them? And they have to pay money to do so? I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay for staying out late. I was hoping to see more, but I suppose I can look at the coachman's seat. I can't find anything out of place. Oh. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the photo again. It's hard to tell if that's the jacket or not, or if that's the door or not. I don't think it is. But I don't see a way that the blood could have gotten onto the seat. I wish you could zoom in and out. But it does look like the photo is taken from this angle, doesn't it? Except for this picture is different. Does that seem right to you? I'll have to take a look at the picture again. Yeah, look. You can see the arc there. So he was moved. I wonder if that's a clue that I can see. No, it's not. But the murder definitely took place in this seat here, or at least the body was found in this seat here. Which would not have been visible from where they were sitting. The photograph was taken from here. This picture was moved from there to there and vice versa. It's a very thorough, have you seen enough? Then let's step back outside. But yeah. We look at this again. No, I wanted to look at the skylight, please. There we go. So yeah, there's no way they would have actually been able to see it from where the body was found. Interesting. And there's a latch here, so somebody could have opened it from the outside, gotten in. Okay. I can't believe the entire crime scene entered as evidence. Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I couldn't help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. It's almost like I already did that. Let us continue with proceedings. Your cross-examination, counsel. Why do I do this to myself? Humph. Pray, don't expect the Nipponese to stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. All right, my first cross-examination at a British court. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus. As is typical, we're not going to reread the testimony. We're just going to read what we challenge, read as we challenge. Why do I just feel like I'm looking at Two-Face? And you saw them through the skylight of the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. Now here's my question. How long before the game lets me actually present the fact that the murder took place, where the body was found and where the murder took place are not the same place? Now, there was a lamp on the inside, so I had a pretty good view, and I've completely lost my accent for him. The body on the left reminds me of a Heartless. The two of them were wearing hats. I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's not one shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? McGilda is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anybody else. Well, let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased, Mr. Mason, and McGilda. And Mr. McGilda. There is no room for doubt here. Ugh. I really wish there was. There is. I forget, is there, how do I... Okay. I guess I can only do that in specific instances. You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already tell you that? Or our fair dinkum, hard-working city banker is not considered trustworthy these days. Depends on what level of the bank you're in. If you're a teller, I have no problems. Oh, no. I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. My lord. Joe number 3, what is the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. I never have. Pot kettle. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. There's no point in wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Wow. That's precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. What the? What's happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems to me, that how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent, black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well, the court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the dissents, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare.
Hold it!
Hold it! He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting on the top roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was on the top roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see. So I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out of his belly. That huge great knife. A grim sight indeed. Ah. That didn't help me at all. The jury looked like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before. That appears to have made everyone even more dubious than Mr. McGilda did it. Yeah, hold on. It's more dubious that Mr. McGilda is telling the truth. Mr. First. Mr. First. Oh, yes, sir? Was this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief, yes. That's it. The very one, sir. Is that... Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is, and furthermore, its scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no. M for Magnus, perhaps, or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there are M's everywhere. Yes. Like Mason. Like in Mason. Objection. This blade is far too extravagant for a brickmaker to have owned it. That's not what I was saying. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. The murder weapon has been entered into the court record. Yoshinoi. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Ah, juror number 2, go on. Mr. McGilda is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish. No. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. You don't have all the facts. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion, with impartial facts. Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who's proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at this moment is information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. But... alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. Well, let's examine the knife. There's the M. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you all right, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades. Oh, those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade. That's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Ugh, that looks like a lot of blood. It surely is blood, the victim's. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like the Japanese man's blood. I wonder why. Do you think it wouldn't? Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. And there's the M. An ornate little letter M. Undeniably, Mr. Magnus McGilda's initial. And it's beautifully gilded too. It must be a very valuable, I should think. Ah, what is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. That could change everything. A W? Yes. This is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know at all. But what I am sure of is that that's an M. Oh. Well, that idea was quickly quashed. I mean, I kind of disagree. Look. See, it's totally a W. written with the left hand or something. I don't know. Being facetious. The thing I do notice is there's no blood on the handle. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again.
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold. It was, sir. Freezing, in fact. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's quite right, sir. That's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no. And there were no other passengers. When the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that one, like that. No, sir, none, sir. So nobody fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say, the boss insists on it running. He does every evening. That last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spent that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. All right, let's see.
Hold it!
All right. All right, now I can look at the court record and look at the people. Okay. So none of them actually have an M in their name. What exactly did you see? Oh, well, so that would be the passenger. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was. And by the passenger, you were referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker, and the other passenger that had that knife in his hand, like this. By the other passenger, you're obviously referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. What? Raise your hand if you see the problem here. Does anyone else see the problem that I see right now? Just with the statements of the witnesses. Because the problem that we have is that okay. He says he saw him stab him. He said he screamed when he saw the victim get stabbed. He says that he saw him stab him after he stopped the bus. There's only one knife wound. So, there's one contradiction for you right there. My lord, I wish to speak. Yes, Joe number 5. Yes, Joe number 5. Do I take it that you too, as the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly aberrant to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open... Ye up now, Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Of course. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Madam Juror number 6. Yes, dear, what can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. Oh yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know. Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day, and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of man Magnus McGilded really is? What kind of man is he? The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir. One of the very darkest of souls. What? Alright, I've heard the term before, but I don't remember what a Shylock is. Oh. He's a moneylender. Oh, right, Shylock. Of course. 2 pounds of flesh. I want my pound of flesh. Except for, wasn't Shylock the victim in that particular play? Technically. Like, according to sources, he's actually the villain, but I don't know. Need more information. Stone the crows. McGilded lends money at extraordinary rates of interest so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they defeat him, when they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come to as no surprise that his creditor was the accused Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
Hold it!
If I might add something briefly, Miss Susato. You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim? I do not drink wine. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollowed chalice in the court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Zeek's hallowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East show great courage I didn't expect to experience myself. As a judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. The debtor's ledger has been entered into the court record. Oh yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. I want to see this for myself. Because this portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear, do you really think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we find. All right. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Ah, goodness! What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strange familiar, actually. Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment. Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. The details of the debtor's ledger have been updated in the court record. Okay. Interesting. Well, we now have reason to suspect Mr. Fairplay of the murder. All right, I guess that's all we're going to see. Among the defendant's list of debtors is Bruce Fairplay. And the accused has made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little part, too. What a scoundrel! Still, maybe it's all for the best. Wait a minute. Let's think about this for a little more before... I don't stand for nonsense. That was it. The last juror's decision. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver a final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense... All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections? Mr. Sato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination, a summation examination. From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say the book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. Actually? We actually had... I don't know if that's what it was exactly when I was a juror, but if it's what I think it is... What even is it, Mr. Sato? The so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it. You would demand the right to procedure before you even understand what it entails? Typical Nipponese. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? Appeal them to change their leaning and reverse their decision, and it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use the summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? A summation examination, our last possible hope. Do we assert our right to carry it out, or admit defeat? Well, I think it's obvious we have to assert it. The defense wishes to assert its right to summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
Your Honor. London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. All right. Raise your hand if you think that Mr. Fairplay is guilty of jury tampering. I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. And that seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. All right then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around. So be it, then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus McGilded guilty of this most serious crime. Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say, absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 40 pence for years. Above 4 pence for years. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, do they? Nope. Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Yeah. This is why there's so much problem with trying to convince people that something is real that they've been told repeatedly is not real. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any ideas on how to make this work? Well, from what I can understand, the key to the procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a unified front, but the truth is they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves in the courtroom together. Yep. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. Well, I know where I'm starting first. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, then we then contrast the statement and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Easy enough. Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. All right, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Jury examination. All right. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. You just need to know multiplication or addition. They do. Explain yourself, Counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's mane and name. I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus that night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have the precise details I typed up neatly here in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly as I said. It doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare? Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinct possibility there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men. One and all, trustworthiness is our watchword. Maybe it's time to clean house. The figures your coachmen claim most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. All right then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side of the scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and... Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. Oh, this is all very irritating. I beg your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Ooh. For the love of Mike, not you as well. Who's Mike? A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! If we can manage to change two jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. 2 or more. Actually, there is something else that bothers me about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Okay. I'm changing my lean to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. I have simply typed and collated all the statements and made it. And have you though? Beppo, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. All right.
Objection!
Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post haste. Oh dearie me. I was only needing a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3, can't you see I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? Ha! Want me to testify, do you? It was like this. Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim banker said. Yes, that's what Mr. Fairplay, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony, quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches. What a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. The scales? I don't believe it. Wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if the two witnesses have slightly different recollections of the events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why I should take this knife to you? Who are you calling old? Why I should take this needle to you? Ugh, they're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? It's out of the question. Do you know why? stabbed once. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dark jinx? Come on out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What? What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. Wrong. That is not the duty of the foreman. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say 2 witnesses saw 2 different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something that he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the 2 witnesses saw 2 different moments of the same kind, as proven by...
Take that!
This. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely 1 time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. He did a magic trick. His knife disappeared. He's a magician. All right, I concede defeat. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leading to not guilty? We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. Whoopsie. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won! No, we haven't won yet. We just allowed the dry out to continue. But I need to do a quick BRB. Give me a few minutes. I appreciate everybody's patience. Alright, I am back and I appreciate everybody's patience. We've won! We've not won. We've only managed to delay. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. Sorry for the crinkling of the wrapper, yeah. I'm trying a mozzarella cheese stick, or cheese potato chip. Mozzarella stick potato chip. But we had a consensus. That is a good flavor. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in quite a remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Van Zykes, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. He's getting nothing off of that wine. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollow chalice. It may seem crushed it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zykes. Brr, is it cold in here or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during the summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. I think you overestimated their stupidity. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir, I did that. I did, sir. I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that your previous testimony You were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus. You will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Mio Dio. Really? Interesting. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Witness testimony, various misgivings. I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it, but well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. He fiddled us on the ferry, did. Then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw McGildas stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. I think so? Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cosenage. Beppo, explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging your passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest. Coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor to the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? Four passengers at 5 pence each. Yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already. I just can't make the result come out differently. Well, I would say, what did McGilded have to pay? But he's the defendant. No one would trust him anyways. No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely.
Hold it!
So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right? It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I was so cold, and it was all I could do to stop myself from passing out. I'm getting chilblains from just listening to you. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. You're there. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny or per passenger? You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been 50 passengers on the omnibus that night. Then we would have had another suspect.
Hold it!
This whoopsie. This blood-curdling sight, you mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir. A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man the moment his life is taken. Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed. Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker next to me make a sharp intake of breaths, you see. And then when I looked through the glass, that's when I saw the horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help scream when I'm eating, even when I'm eating. Whoops, wrong button. We'll come back to him.
Hold it!
Earlier you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh yes, yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife like in an ice pick grip. I suppose. I might have, yes. Put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then, when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes. And the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? In fact, now that I come to think of it... Alright.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. You have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Okay, let me see. We're gonna go here. We're gonna do a cheeky save. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through the skylight on top of the omnibus, that is. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it clearly as a baller day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim I was. Do you think I'd forget a sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important information. Yes, you're so right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. Alright. I'm gonna actually overwrite that save real quick. There we go. And then...
Objection!
Blood-soaked hands. Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but... But anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilda, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there, but as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ugh. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah. But no, that can't be right. So you're the liar here then? Ugh. That's right. You were quite clear about it. You said, both hands. I just realized juror number 3 is modeled off of, oh, why can't I suddenly remember the name of it? Clockwork Orange character. Grr. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, calls your entire testimony into question. But you say that you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it was both hands. Yes, it wasn't both hands. And it was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection!
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Why, I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some sort of gutter snipe. Upstanding member of society, don't prevaricate. Prevaricate? What does that mean? Speak or act in an evasive way. Have you met any politicians? I know at this point in time, England had a parliament. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. Whoops. He's claiming to have no reason to lie, but is that really the case? Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, to turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have the evidence. My lord. Yes, counsel. The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay has a reason to lie in his testimony. Ugh. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court.
Take that!
This is a list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilden. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused's extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony you have never seen, or is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Order, 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again, and be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust the knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right, now let's not make a melodrama of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands. Both of them.
Objection!
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here, as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happened. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? That doesn't mesh. It would appear we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes. Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have the chance to turn things around here. What the witnesses really saw. And we're going to save here, and we're going to save that for next time. Because I don't think I can finish the cross-examination in a timely manner. So, with that, I do want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you tomorrow, where we will continue Expedition 33. What is this emote, Pokey? Why are you going away? Not even giving you a wave goodbye? Wow. Pokey must be upset with me. Stream's ending. Yeah. Normally I'm out. Anyways. And again. Nürburgring 24 hours and GT4. 24-hour string. There's no sneak peeks anyways. No, there's no sneak peek. Does it really upset you that much, Pokey? It might take a lot of time to get there, but and I'll try to set up first, start playing that game. Yes, I will start playing that game, Pokey. It might be like a week, but it's or not a week. It might be like end of the month that it starts. Depends on when I'm able to get the wheel and pedal set for the PS3. But I've got everything I need to get the PS3 so that I can capture it and play it. And hopefully it works. Hopefully if the wheel doesn't work with the PS3, it's just going to be on controller, which won't be a lot of fun, but it will be a thing. But it is going to happen soon. I do. I have a first gen PS3. Stragan, I got it a few years after a few years after it came out. It ended up costing us about $400. Might even have been after no, it wasn't after the PS4 came out, I don't think. So this is actually a PS3 peripheral that I'm hoping will work with the PS2 game. Because the thing about the way that the PS3 backwards compatibility works and why they stopped doing it was that it literally had a PS1, a PS2, and a PS3. Oh, I see what yeah. Yeah, according to my Surface research, it should work. Like, so the pedal and wheel combo in question is, I gotta find it again. No, not Sim Magic. It's a Thrustmaster pedal wheel combo. No, that's not it. But it's the T300 RS. So I think it will work. But I'm not absolutely certain. We'll find out. But until then, take care everybody and goodbye.